Hello. Reborn royalty here. Hey, stay down, Sonny. Cat's trying to hop up on the table as I'm doing a review. Right? Seriously, don't eat a bullet. So, today I wanted to talk about a few different weapons that I have in my arsenal. This right here is a Ruger LCR 38 Special, rated for plus P ammunition. It holds 5 rounds in the cylinder. As you can see, it is clear. It has like a, I forget what they call these, but it's like a micro optic or something, which it's like basically it illuminates in low lighting and everything, which call it it's like a strip of plastic or something, I believe though. Very simple, very ergonomic, especially if you've got like little hands. I would have to say I've got like smaller hands for a man, and I mean, for darn's sake, it fits almost into my hand. You know what I mean? Like I could almost palm the sucker. But it feels nice. It's lightweight. It packs a bit of a punch when you are shooting, and it has a bit of a heavy trigger pull and reset. But the reason why it does that is so that, you know, when you're walking around, it doesn't accidentally, go off on you. It's good to have a good holster, which call it, and belt. Lately, I'm just been using a like very standard belt, something I got from like Ross or something of that nature. But it works, which call you gotta have a good belt if you want to have proper retention of your firearms, especially with the holsters that are like the Kydex holsters, which call it, they just seem to snap better onto the belts. I'll show you. But yeah, as you can see, the Kydex just holds on really well. Kind of the stiffness of it, but me personally, I like a mixture of like with the leather, which I even have one holster that's like the part that lays against your body the most all day is leather, but then the other side that retains the firearm more is Kydex, and it has a clip that is more similar to this one. I'll do a video on that. It's for my Glock 43X. I'll do a video on that down the road. Yeah, it's good to play, which call it mix and match, see what works best for your everyday carry style, your the way you live, which call all of that stuff, like what jobs that you carry, like what's comfortable for your realistic everyday carry to make sure you're properly protecting yourself and your family throughout your days. Moving on, which call it, this is a fast gunman holster. It's kind of just like a universal holster for revolvers, but it holds the Ruger LCR 38 Special very well. I actually really like this style of firearm, and I've seen them chambered in 9mm, 22 mag, and 22 long rifle, and I believe that it's really nice style of firearm, very simple, perfect for a woman in your life, daughter, mother, cousin, girlfriend, wife, all that stuff. I think that this is very simple for women to use. There's not even a hammer on it like this other revolver, which kind of, it just creates a dual action on the firearm instead of the simple one action. But because of that, it's simpler for women to use, and there's just less possibilities for a malfunction. Like even if you're like this is big and heavy, that's a whole nother thing. The weight on this, I would say, feels like at least a pound like, I don't know which call. I'm probably off by some matter of ounces, but it feels like it's about a pound or so heavier. It just feel like the metal used, like this feels like aluminum for the most part, whereas this feels like a steel frame. Just the kind of metal that is used, as well as the weight behind it, you can kind of tell. But both excellent firearms. This one's got less mileage on it, so it's a bit more accurate. I've noticed when I take it to the range, despite the barrels pretty much being exactly the same. But as you can see, there's a bit of more warping in this Rock Island versus the Ruger. But again, that's because of age. It's been around longer, more rounds downrange. Both excellent firearms. Great, for me, I would think great backup guns or great nightstand guns. You know, something that you're gonna, you know, or even a car gun, you know, something that you leave somewhere and, or even keep it on your person. You know, me personally, I like carrying these, so I got nice leather holsters for them. But that's just because I don't always want to carry just the outfits that I wear. Sometimes I'll just be wearing like something that's ties off with string, and that's, you know, works. It functions. And, you know, when it comes to accessibility to my firearm, it works for these types of holsters. Whereas for this one, it not that it doesn't, it just doesn't feel quite as secure. So I like using belts with the Kydex holsters. I just feel like it gets a more snug fit on your firearm when you're drawing your weapon. There's less like reaction time it takes to to access it. These are both chambered in 38 special, even though this one's a little bit beefier and you think it might be chambered in 357 mag, it's not. It's both 38 specials. And this bad boy is a Glock 17 clone from P80. All upper, lower, and internal parts are from P80, and I think that's why this one functions so well. Because I built a few of these now, and the ones that I don't use parts from the same manufacturer, they seem to malfunction. Like I have a Glock 19 I built that's got the lowers from P80, the uppers from like Wolf or something, and like it wasn't even spelt properly. Like it was like Wolf with like a German spelling or something, and that is having LPS, light primer strikes. So whereas I don't have that issue with this gun. When I first started breaking it in, there was a period of time where, out of say a box of 50 or 100, or 100, that you might have a couple of hiccups, but that was mainly just because the firearm kind of just needed to be broken in. But after I put a couple hundred rounds downrange, it just functions smooth as butter now. Like, I love it. That's why I've added it to my everyday carry rotation for one of the cities I reside in. And yeah, I mean, it functions great. It's accurate as all hell. I mean, you got I don't know, I would say it's like a 3 or 4 inch barrel. It's a full-size firearm, Glock 17, fits my hand really well. I wish that it was like, how do I put this? I feel like I would carry it more if it wasn't quite so large and heavy. So Glock 19 or 23 would be more preferable. But this works just fine. It serves its purpose to make sure that I'm protected when I'm here. But yeah, but since I bought it in part kit, as you can see, it has absolutely no serialization on it anywhere. Because the GATF and free men don't ask for permission. So moving on, I wanted to talk about, just the holsters that I have for this. It's a Kydex. I have several magazines. This one is an unloaded OEM Glock mag and functions perfectly. I have also, this is from KCI. Yes, this is from KCI USA. Says USA, but also made in Korea. Can't forget that. Yeah, it functions for the most part. There's you know how extendeds can be sometimes, that they're a little bit more finicky than your OEM mags. That's why I try to run, even when I do have extended mags, I try to run OEM extended mags. But Glock 30 rounders are a bit more pricey to come along. Like, I think I can get like 2 KCI mags and like 3 ETS mags that are the same size of a Glock 30 mag, but the price of one Glock 30 mag, you could get 2 of the KCIs and get 2 of the freaking 2 or 3 of the ETS Pro mags, things like that, the aftermarket. But there's a reason why. The springs aren't as good. I've had, the only really issues I've had with this is like jamming, which call it like failure to feed, which call it type jam. But as soon as you clear it, dump the mag out, which call it get the round out, stick it back in, it usually gets right back into action. Never really had an issue beyond that. So I can't really hate on it too much, you know what I mean? That's why I do carry it with my everyday carry occasionally. Not always, just occasionally. Just kind of depends on if I'm going super far away from the crib or something. And also, I'm a firm believer in having more than you need rather than having not enough, because nothing worse than being having a paperweight in a gunfight. Hold on one second just to check that I'm still live. Cool. I had like a 25-minute video that was supposed to be a 45-minute video the other day, and it didn't capture everything, so just want to make sure that stuff so I'm not talking to myself. But yeah, ammunition. Have several types to show you today. This is a Full Metal Jacket 9mm from, when was this, Luger? Yes, this is from Luger. These ones are from Ammo Inc. This is the 9mm hollow. And this is a 38 special hollow with the rubber tip, Hornady. The rubber tip, I believe, is to help the bullets kind of like keep it from over penetrating or over expanding or something like that. But I need to, look up my hollow point, which call it history, because all the different bullets, which call on hollow points, they kind of have, like, there's these extreme defenders that are considered they're considered defense rounds, but the way that they are designed, it looks like a freaking like a Phillips head screwdriver. So I can't imagine that that's really useful for self-defense purposes. I feel like that would be better for self-defense against larger game, like think of like a bear or a cougar or a bobcat, a boar, elk, you know what I mean, something like that, a buck, you know what I mean, I feel like, that would be useful in dealing with something like that. But for dealing with a person, I feel like that would be over penetrative, especially for anything larger than like a 9mm, you know what I mean? Just food for thought, though. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their different preferences, and in some states people are like Texas, for instance. People will go to the most extreme with their rights just because they feel like in other states like California and New Jersey and New York, people are so limited that they're just like, screw all that. I'm gonna do what I like. And again, teach their own. I don't blame them. I just kind of feel like there's certain things, like I've talked about this in other videos, like, you know, Glock switches, you know, the little buttons you could put on the Glocks these days. Not that I would ever do that, but even if it became, like I said in another video, even if it became legal, like tomorrow, it would be really like unwise tactically. You know what I mean? Because say you're gonna go shoot somebody in self-defense, right? You pull your weapon and they're right here. The last thing you want to do is go, and then freaking you miss every shot, and then what? You dump your whole fucking 17, and now you're, you know, which car or whatever you're, you know, 15, 10 or whatever your standard mag is in your state. You know, you dump it, and then you're out, and you got to reload and fumble with your fucking magazine, and you know that asshole can blast you now or stab you or whatever they got. You know what I mean? I just feel like most people aren't trained to handle full auto capabilities. Like, you know, a lot of videos I see online, you know, people like, you know, instead of like, it just walks them. Like they kind of like start taking steps back. The gun starts to shoot up in the air, and every round, you know, you know, you're accountable for it. So you really got to be wise with the things that you choose for your self-defense purposes. But yeah, I got a few OEM magazines. I always keep, I feel like it's wise. My uncle always told me that you should keep 3 mags minimum for your semi-automatic firearms, because he was a firm believer in like the offensive phase of a firefight, where, you know, you're gonna want to be more or less like using the opportunity of surprise to attack your enemy with swift, brutal force. And he was a firm believer in using your first magazine for that purpose. And then he was believed in keeping a couple spare ones, so that as you're breaking contact, as you're retreating from the situation that you are engaged in, that you have another 2 magazines that get you through. Because say that you're bouncing from cover to cover, trying to zigzag out of a situation. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you should be training for. That's why I'm a firm believer in going out into the wilderness and training out in open terrain, and changing up your terrain. Not always doing it in the same environments, because you're not, you want to train like you fight, and you never know where the fight's going to be, and you never know how it's going to be. So you just got to prepare yourself for a plethora of situations, and, you know, pray that you never find yourself trapped in any of these scenarios, but, you know, feel comfort in the fact that, you know, you have trained and hopefully developed some muscle memory as to how to deal with this altercation. So again, the reason why I keep multiple magazines is for the breaking contact phase. Also, what you call it, you can never have enough ammunition. So, and I carry a bag with me usually. So, you know, I'd rather have to explain to the police that, hey, you know, I've been shot, and I believe in making sure that I got more than enough to get home at every night than not enough. Like for me, 6 shots, 5 shots, you know, that's good for taking out the trash. That's cool for hanging out around the house. But when it comes to running the store, I believe that everybody should have a semi-automatic with them, either in like a 945 bag, a 511 bag, just anything that's, well, the thing I like about those is that how quickly you can access your firearm, but what I don't like about them is that it screams, I have a firearm. So I have this bag I got from Walmart for $10, and as you can see, it fits all my magazines perfectly. Like literally, hold on a second. Ooh, slip those in, slip those in. Fits those just fine. throw it in the bag. That way, you can reach it. Boom, 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 boom. Drop mag. Reload. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, what you call it? That's kind of the name of the game. Now, the way I carry my 9 kind of hold on again. The way that I carry kind of depends on the situation. Sometimes I'll have the satchel slung over my back, so I'll keep the Glock in there. Sometimes I'm wearing some cargos that got belt loops, so I'll keep it on my person. Kind of just depends on what I'm doing, how I'm dressed. If I'm going to the beach, probably have something simple on me, like a revolver or two. You know, what you call it, just kind of depends on the situation. But again, I believe that anywhere and everywhere you go, especially these days in America, you can get shot at the grocery store, you get shot at the bank, you can get freaking, I almost got shot at the trash, taking out trash, you know, which call it, from people that I had issues with that were affiliated to those that tried killing me, you know, which call it, not that the police did anything about it, but that's just, you know, it's how they are. But point is, though, is that all you can do legally, is wait for them to return and be ready. You know what I mean? So I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. I think that it is moronic what the government is trying to do to its people. We are giving hundreds and billions of dollars to our enemies for 20 years, the Taliban, ISIS, things like that, when we pulled out of Afghanistan. Yet they want to tell us that we can't have firearms to defend ourselves, we can't have body armor to protect ourselves. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? What you call it? And in the wise words of this elderly woman I saw give a speech that was a Holocaust survivor, that always stockpile weapons and ammunition, and especially when they are saying that you don't need these things. In these days, with the polarizing, hectic times that we're in, political assassinations happening in Mexico and America, attempts only here in America, from what's being declared on the media. Who knows what's really happening behind the scenes. In Mexico, everything's on freaking Front Street. 36, I believe, 35 or 36 presidential candidates got murdered, and everyone's trying to celebrate that a female got elected for the first time as president in Mexico. And it's just like, they just whacked 36 other presidential candidates. Obviously, this chick that they let live, obviously she's just a puppet for them. You know what I mean? So nothing's gonna get fixed down there until we declare a state emergency and declare the cartels as terrorist organizations. And once they're reclassified from, you know, gang or whatever the fuck, gang, cartel, once they're reclassified to a terrorist organization, which I believe they are at this point, but I just don't understand why we're not actively going after them. You know what I mean? What you call it. But again, our government doesn't like to get to the bottom of problems that they created. So all you can do is defend yourself and make sure that you and your family are well, making sure that you and your family are staying clean and having steady job opportunities, staying happy, healthy, and nourishing your body in every way. For now, that's kind of all I had to say. Yeah, until next time, Reborn of Reborn Royalty out.